It's the kind of story that could start with any girl. A girl who wanted more from life. More than just a small-town routine. More than just quiet days that looked the same. She was young, curious, kind. Someone who'd never been to Europe, never flown that far from home, but who still believed in people. Believed in love. Believed that sometimes the best stories begin with taking a chance. That girl was Ashley Wadsworth, just 19 years old, raised in a small Canadian town by a family that adored her. She was sharp, spoke fluent French, top of her class, a devout member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, protective older sister, loyal friend, and someone who always found the good in people, even when others couldn't see it. And when Ashley met Jack Sepple online, she thought she'd found someone who saw the good in her too. He was English, 23, with messy hair and a cheeky smile. The kind of charm that made you feel like you were the only person in the world when he spoke to you. He sent her messages every day, said she was beautiful, said he'd never met anyone like her, said he loved her, and Ashley believed him. It wasn't long before Jack convinced her to come to the UK, to leave everything, her family, her church, her future plans, and fly across the Atlantic to live with him in Essex. And so, with a backpack full of clothes and a heart full of hope, Ashley boarded a plane on November 12, 2021, and stepped into a life that looked like a dream from the outside. In the early days, everything seemed perfect. Her Instagram showed smiling pictures in London, crisp walks in the countryside, sweet messages tag my soulmate. She FaceTimed her mom often, sent videos of Jack cooking her meals, laughed with her younger sister like everything was fine. But underneath the filters, beneath the carefully framed snapshots, things were already changing. She started missing calls. Her texts grew shorter. The sparkle in her voice faded. And when she did talk to people back home, she didn't sound like Ashley anymore. It was subtle, easy to ignore, until it wasn't. By late January, less than 3 months into her stay, Ashley told a friend she was booking a flight home. She'd had enough. She was scared. She didn't want to make a scene, but she was done. She was supposed to fly out the next day, but she never made it to the airport because in the early hours of February 1 SD, a chilling 999 call came from the flat she shared with Jack. No words, no cries, just the line open and then silence. When officers arrived, the scene inside the apartment was something they would never forget. Ashley Wadsworth, who had once trusted this man with her heart, was found brutally murdered. Her body bore over 90 stab wounds, and next to her, calmly sitting on the bed, was Jack Sepple, holding the phone in one hand and filming her final moments with the other. So how did it come to this? How did a kind, intelligent teenager, so full of life and love, end up trapped in a flat with a man capable of such horror? What was hiding behind his charm? What had Ashley seen in those final weeks, and why didn't she leave sooner? This is the story the photos didn't show. This is the story behind the messages, behind the smiles, behind the silence. This is the chilling, true story of Ashley Wadsworth, and everything that unfolded when love turned into something far more dangerous. She crossed an ocean to be with someone she trusted. She never came home. Ashley Wadsworth was born on July 2nd, 2002, in Vernon, a picturesque town in British Columbia, Canada. The kind of place where people know your name and your neighbors greet you with a smile. Ashley was the youngest of 3 sisters. To her family, she was the glue, the one who held people together with her kindness, curiosity, and compassion. She loved books. She loved languages. She was fluent in French by high school and was active in her church community, regularly volunteering and spending time with her fellow Latter-day Saints. She wasn't the type to rebel, but she was the type to dream, to explore, to want more than just a predictable path. So when she told her family she had met someone online, a British guy named Jack Sepple, they were skeptical but not alarmed. Ashley had always been smart, cautious, level-headed. She insisted they were taking it slow, that it was more than just a fling. Jack Sepple lived in Chelmsford, Essex, a city east of London. He was 23, claimed he was turning his life around, claimed he was looking for something real. He and Ashley talked for months before she ever booked a ticket. Daily calls, Long messages, promises of love. He told her he adored her, that he wanted a family someday, that she was different from anyone else. To Ashley, he seemed perfect, the kind of person who could make her feel special. But what Ashley didn't know was that Jack wasn't being honest. He had no job, no long-term plans, and he had a long, private history with mental health struggles and violent behavior, a past no one warned her about. Still, when Jack invited Ashley to come live with him in England, she said yes. Her family, supportive but nervous, helped her pack her bags. It was a one-way flight, but she promised to come home in a few months. Ashley landed at Heathrow on November 12, 2021. Her first few weeks in England looked like a fairy tale. Sightseeing in London, smiling photos with Jack, cuddles on the couch, Sunday roasts, cozy nights in. Her social media lit up with likes. Friends commented, "You two are adorable. So happy for you. He looks like a keeper," but Instagram doesn't show everything. And slowly, the messages back home changed. Ashley stopped calling her sister daily. She skipped church Zoom meetings. When she did reply to texts, her tone felt different. There were glimpses of something more complicated, something she wasn't saying out loud. Her family started asking questions, but Ashley brushed it off, said she was just adjusting, said things were fine, said she'd be home soon. But deep down, she was starting to worry. By January, Ashley's social posts stopped altogether. Her last upload was a photo of her and Jack on the couch, captioned with a single heart emoji. But the picture felt different. Her smile seemed forced, her eyes heavy. In private, she told one friend that Jack had started checking her phone, accusing her of lying, of cheating. Another friend said she texted, "I feel trapped." She told her mom she missed home, that she was thinking of coming back early. She even began looking at flights. February 2nd, she said, that's when she'd return to Canada. She just had to get through one more night. But Ashley never made it to that flight. January 31st, 2022, Ashley was just hours away from leaving. She told friends she was packing her things and that she'd already booked her flight home. But something about that night didn't feel right. Neighbors later reported hearing loud arguing coming from the flat around 8 p.m. Then silence. For hours. By 3:21 a.m., a call was made to emergency services. The line was open, but no one spoke. There was rustling, a soft thud, and then nothing. The dispatcher stayed on the line until officers were sent to the address. When police arrived at Tennyson Road in Chelmsford, they knocked. No answer. They forced their way in. What they found inside was something no one was prepared for. Ashley's lifeless body lay on the bedroom floor. She had been stabbed more than 90 times. Her injuries were so severe, paramedics knew immediately they couldn't save her. And sitting next to her body was Jack Sepple, covered in blood, calm, silent, holding the phone, still recording. What would possess someone to do something like this? And more importantly, why didn't Ashley leave sooner? Could she have? Would anyone have believed her if she tried? Jack was taken into custody immediately. He refused to speak at first, but investigators quickly recovered damning evidence. Messages where Ashley said she felt unsafe, voicemails where Jack was screaming in the background, and videos taken on his phone in the hours leading up to the attack. He had filmed her final moments. The court later revealed that Jack had recorded himself after the murder, zooming in on Ashley's body with no sign of remorse. Psychologists described his actions as callous, narcissistic, and controlling. He didn't run. He didn't hide. He just watched. Should someone with a known history of violence have been flagged sooner? Could international systems have protected Ashley better? And what about the dating apps? Do they do enough to verify who people really are? Police later uncovered Jack's disturbing past. He had previous restraining orders from ex-girlfriends, accusations of coercive behavior, even violent threats. But none of this was public. Ashley never saw it coming. How do we keep stories like Ashley's from fading away? How do we make sure the next young woman who feels unsafe gets help before it's too late? Ashley Wadsworth didn't die because of a random act of violence. She died at the hands of someone she trusted, someone she loved, and the signs were there, just quiet enough to miss. This wasn't just a tragedy. It was a failure of systems, of platforms, of silence. Ashley should still be here, but maybe her story can save someone else. If you're in a relationship where you feel afraid, unheard, or unseen, don't wait. Speak up. Reach out. There is help. There is hope. Ashley Wadsworth was more than a headline, more than a cautionary tale. She was a daughter, a sister, a best friend, a vibrant young woman with her whole life ahead of her. Her story must be remembered, not because of how it ended, but because of who she was while she lived. Thank you for watching this documentary. If Ashley's story moved you, if it made you think, or made you remember someone who might need help, don't stay silent. Leave a comment below. Start the conversation. You never know who might read it and realize they're not alone. And if you want to hear more real stories that need to be told, subscribe to this channel. One voice can tell a story, but all of us together, we can make sure it's never forgotten.